done with.
Dude, you've been done.
I'm still here.
For what? Why? Because you just want to be a asshole.
You're right.
Then why the would you be in this competition, bone face?
Why do you look 50 and you're 24?
What? What did you say? Go yourself, you.
Would you rather have the brand new PS5 or a weekend with these three lovely ladies and you can do anything you want with them?
Wait, anything with them?
Like anything.
A whole weekend?
A whole weekend.
Damn, but the PS5 though, like it just dropped.
I know.
Oh, damn, y'all beautiful though, but
Hold on, what'd you say?
PS5 or us?
Oh,
bro, y'all beautiful, but I had a PlayStation 4 for 4 years, but I need a PS5.
God.
My nigga.
Y'all, so this dude came in my DM yesterday. He was like, "You're pretty, I'm trying to get to know you." He literally sent me $1,000 just to get to know me. And y'all literally sit here and think I'm gonna get to know y'all for free when somebody just paid me $1K for him to get to know me? Be so for real.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now.
Would you feel comfortable if your father was watching your OnlyFans and subscribing to it?
Probably not, no.
You would not feel comfortable, and I'll tell you why. That's because in your heart of hearts, in your soul, if you still got one, you know it's wrong. That's your work. In my work, if my mother consumed my work, I'd be thankful and pleased that she took an interest in my work and supported my work. If she bought my products, I'd be thankful. If your mother or father bought your products, you'd be disgusted and ashamed because you know what you're doing is wrong and the product of what you're doing is bad.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
I got a question for you. Do you have car insurance?
100%. No reason.
All right. Do you have homeowners insurance?
100%.
Do you have life insurance?
100%.
Do you have medical insurance?
100%.
Did you get tired of your insurance agent talking about the possibilities of you losing your life and being rewarded? Hold on for a second. I know, but don't be a but person. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. You have insurances. Although it's a very uncomfortable situation, and life insurance people who sell it tend to be scumbags. They tend to be looked at as scumbags, like, I don't want to have this conversation about me dying, but you surely will die. So you better have the conversation. The reality is, yes, it's a very tough conversation. I have to spend a lot of time talking about it. It's very difficult. However, there needs to be some insurance, and there's no insurance, and so we must talk about it.
He ain't lying.
That all up in me at one time. Don't try to make me take all that dick at one time.
Slow and easy.
He said, "Don't worry. I wouldn't do that to you. I would not rush all this dick up in you at one time. I'm going to take it easy on you." She said, "Okay, I think I can take it." So he laid down. The nigga rushed all that dick up in her.
Jammed it into there.
Jammed and round.
Like Jam City.
All kind of dick up in that girl at one time.
Dang.
And took her breath some more.
What's up, y'all? It's Cali West. Thank you for tuning in to another episode. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you're feeling this shit. And him. Scott. Let me clear my throat. Just this mic. That's what I want to do. You know, I'm going to have to get a new mic stand. Anyway, I appreciate everybody tuning in on this Friday morning. You know what I'm saying? To all the Coach Gang members and the Free Agent Lifestyle members, salute. What's up for the weekend, niggas? Now, oh shit. Now, with that being said, y'all see from the title, Kanye West, this is Lil Boosie, Kendrick Lamar, and Tyler, the Creator. Not all at the same exact time, but relatively in a small amount and short amount of time and period. And with that being said, we gotta give salute to my boys in the chat. XO Pro, the moderator with the most, comes through. He says morning live, and then he says like, share, subscribe, Cash App, $, Cali West 1, and then you're broke, so hook a brother up. You feel me? Salute. Now, J Flow, XO Pro says Jam the Ram. J Flow says salute Kelly West, XO Pro in the chat. I ain't gonna keep us too long. We're gonna get off at about 11:15, 11:20 to tune in to Coach Greg Adams. You know what I'm saying, on a Friday morning to kick off the weekend. But this is a little pregame, right? J Flow says Jam City, baby. You already done know, boy. Jam City. Now, so let's talk about this little Kanye situation and what he got to say. Matter of fact, I think I got a little video clip that I could show y'all in the meantime, in regard to the whole little beef that they got. I think this is it. But I'm trying to show y'all what Kanye West had to say. Oh, is in the other article. Because Boosie made a tweet. Kanye said something in the video. We're going to talk about the whole tweet in a minute. What I do want to talk about is the video. Where's it at? I had it earlier. I just had it earlier too. That's crazy. All right. I guess I got to find it. I guess we'll do it live. We're going to do it live. All right. We're going to do it live. Let's see here. Oh boy. That's what I get for not being completely prepared, for a morning live stream. I don't know where my other wireless keyboard is. Kanye. See, poor Lil Boosie. Is this it? No, that's the same thing I quoted the last time. Wait a damn minute. Don't you hate that when you be doing a little research, what you be having be there, but then when you look for it, don't? Okay. All right, y'all. Blame me. It's my fault. It's my show. I should have had it together. That I should have done. I ain't gonna lie, my bad. I'm usually a little more prepared than this. But anyway, fuck it. Like I said, we're gonna do it live. Let's see here. Kanye. Let's see here. Oh, Lucy. Poor. Then let's pull this on video. Let's see here. Is this it? Maybe this is it here. Oh, no. I ain't about to pull up some. Oh, okay. I think this might be it here. And I really appreciate y'all patience too, by the way. Oh, okay. Here we go, y'all. So without further ado. Okay. Yeah, keep on coming. Hey, come on in, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Ladies and gentlemen, come on through. Come on through. All right. So let's hear what Yee got to say. As a matter of fact, I ordered some Yees. I wonder if I got my refund back because I know he had trouble with his website. I ordered some shoes from him like 2 months ago and still ain't got them, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. I need to look into that. I need to look into that order for real. Because it's been like 2 months and I still ain't got no shoes. All right. Look at me getting distracted. Here we go. Can y'all see that? Hopefully y'all could. Good.
I know that nigga smell poor. I never met him. That nigga smell poor. You know, that is poor. What are you talking about smell?
Yeah, Boosie got him not talking shit.
But he there. That's what he's there to do. They took a piece of shit and made him talk shit. He talking himself. He a piece of shit. He talking shit. But by the way, I know that nigga smell poor. I never met him. That nigga smell poor. You know, that is poor. What are you talking about smell?
Yeah, Boosie got him not talking shit.
But he there. That's what he's there to do. They took a piece of shit and made him talk shit. He talking himself. He a piece of shit. He talking shit. But by the way, I know that nigga smell poor. I never met him.
So yo, damn, bro.
Emotional damage.
Okay, so all right. My interpretation on this, because I do, because I'm gonna break it down to what I believe and what I see from this little situation. All right. What I personally see, from my opinion, just on the outside looking in, and anyone could correct me if I'm wrong. I believe the reason why Kanye, like he said, he basically explained why he says that he looks poor. Now, he's not necessarily saying Kanye is not necessarily. A lot of people, when people hear that Kanye, when he says that Boosie, looks and smells poor, people think it's just the fact that Kanye West is trying to flex on him that he got more money than him. But see, no. See that would be too easy. See, that would be too easy and too cliche. What Kanye is alluding to is the fact that Boosie has a poor state of mind, because when Boosie talks about stuff, he doesn't really talk about stuff from an intelligence standpoint. He doesn't talk about stuff from a business standpoint. He just mainly emotions. I'm not saying that Boosie doesn't have a point sometimes, because there's sometimes that he be right. Like, for example, when he was talking shit about Dwayne Wade, and them thinking about having a sex change for the kid. I don't know if they ever did do the sex change, but I know when it was up in the air, because basically they were trying to push to do it. And essentially, I think that's one of the reasons why the Wades moved from Miami to California, was so they can go ahead and basically facilitate the indoctrination, right? So long story short is, Boosie was right about that, and I'm not saying I got a problem with Boosie either, but let's just be real. Boosie is, people don't really buy his records really. He's just kind of more of a, it's kind of more of a court jester, somebody you kind of laugh at, he thinks kind of funny, you think he's kind of cool, and sometimes he just say this funny. Like, just think about it. Most people probably more laugh at Boosie than they really listening to Boosie and taking what Boosie say as a testament to life. You feel me? Now Kanye, yeah, he might say some crazy ass shit. Like I ain't gonna lie, when he made that little comment or whatever, I was gonna make a video about it, but I really didn't want to because one, I ain't gonna lie, you know, I like Kanye, you know what I'm saying, and but and but I kind of try to stay away from that reading rainbow ass shit. You feel me? But I do feel that today is an appropriate day to actually address it. Now, let's see here. With that being said, let's discuss this article before we get to because I know y'all want to hear about Kendrick Lamar and shit and that too. But long story short is that what I want to do is completely address this whole Lil Boosie situation. Oh, J Flo says slippery slope. Facts. It is a slippery slope. Pause. Now, I'm going to share this article so y'all can just see what I'm about to read. This is just basically an article that says Boosie Badass responds to Yee's smells poor diss. Mouth smells like ham and cheese. Hot pocket. Interesting. That's actually a quote. Okay.
Silence, you fuddy fool! I've had it with your whining and bumbling.
All right. Okay. So let's read the article and then y'all can see why I'm like, I don't know. Anyway, Boosie also told Yee to watch what you tweet. Now it says Boosie Badass, as expected, have responded to the artist formerly known as Kanye West saying he smells poor during a recent stream with Digital Nas. Previously, as you can recall from this report, Boosie felt bad for Yee following his cousin's confession, though it wasn't immediately clear whether those exact marks had anything to do with the latest from Yee.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
I know that nigga smell poor. I never met him. He said, as seen in the clip below, that ninja smell poor. You know, that ninja poor. We are talking about the smell. Agreeing with the I ain't gonna read all that. Oh, so the video was there the whole time. So I was running around town with my head cut off. Check this out, y'all. See, they know what they're doing. They want you to watch the commercial first before you seen this. But the video was here the whole time, so I'm up here running around like a chicken with my head cut off. You see how they be doing? Because they're showing this the whole time. Y'all remember seeing that? And I was looking for this. I knew I wasn't be this. I know y'all be seeing me smoking on here, but I don't be blowed like that, bro. I don't be blowed like that. Nah. I knew I wasn't tripping. So anyway, back to this article now. Now, on X, Boosie urged Yee to chill. Within hours, he had elaborated further, accompanying all the cap's statement with an explicit edited photo that we can't include in this article. Make me want to look it up. It says, I smell laughing aloud never. Boosie wrote, your mouth smells like ham and cheese. Hot pocket when it comes out the microwave. What you need to do is watch your tweet, bro. Lame. Ninja. That was lame, nigga.
What kind of shit is that?
Nigga, that was lame, bro. That was the best you could come up with, Boosie? Was that you smell like ham and cheese hot pocket? Boosie, you almost proving Kanye's point about you being a smelling poor, you feel me? And let's be real. You can live in the hood, right? And still be tidy, still be neat, well kept, smelling good, looking good. But like I said, poor is a state of mind because you could be a rich ninja and still be poor-minded. And let's just be real. How you smell coincides with what you're eating. You know what I'm saying? What you're taking intake in your body. What you're drinking. You know what I'm saying? Shit, even the shit that you smoking. Shit you smoking, the shit you drinking. Your lifestyle, your thought process. Kanye could just look at him and he could just look at certain things and he could just tell that Boosie is just he's a little bit he's a little bit of a ragamuffin, you know what I'm saying? Let's just be real, bro.
Shit.
So listen to this. So there's more to this, all right? So wait, there's more. Oh shit, there's comments. So XL Pro says Boosie is a regional artist. He has a large fan base deep in the South. I'm familiar with Boosie music. Hey, I fuck with Boosie too. We're gonna get to that. Oh, don't worry. Hey, we're gonna get to that. Jay Flo says, watch what you eat. Ah, shit, the glizzies, right. Well, don't be eating no glizzies in public, Ninja. Oh, shit. No, don't do that.
It's an evil world we live in.
It's a thought process. Right. For real, man. Now it says from there, Boosie references Ye's son and mocked his aforementioned cousin confession. He says, you better chill, laughing out loud. I said, okay. So look, so he adds more. He says, I think he says his goofy ass microwave comment. He says, what you need to do is watch what you treat, bro. You have sons who look up to you and value your words. You just motivated your son to put a dick in his mouth. You're making your son suspicious of what a dick tastes like. And he says, Ye, the professional dick sucker. Damn, bro. Sheesh.
Emotional damage.
So let me ask y'all a question. So because Ye said that he did some crazy shit as a youth, right? Does that mean that his son or his son is gonna be like, oh well, you know what? Since dad did some gay shit back in the day, I'm gonna do some gay shit too? I mean, is that necessarily could be the case? I don't know. But see, okay, maybe it could be a case could be argued about that, right? So let's talk about the elephant in the room. If Lil Boosie says because Ye said that he did some gay shit when he was in adolescence and basically being raised by a single mother who made a conscious decision to uproot him from New York to Chicago so she could work at the quote unquote, for all your pro-blacks, the white man's job and to work for the white man's university so she could be a professor at the white man's school, right? But guess what? There was the caveat to it was she had to basically live in the damn projects of Chicago, one of the roughest places in the United States to live in. Why? So she could pursue her motherfucking career, okay? So as in the pursuit of her career, Kanye didn't have the opportunity to be around a straight heterosexual man like his father, right? And guess what? Kanye is basically admitting to the world without saying in so many words that he basically was exposed to some, to homosexual, to LGBT activity. Why? Because his mother was not only endorsed it, but also probably took advantage of it as well. Because guess what? A lot of things that people don't want to talk about, and I noticed that I went from a lot of viewers to I see about 10 people probably dropped off, and it is what it is. It is, if y'all gotta go back to work or whatever and go back, to do your job, and it is what it is. I understand. But with that being said, I do want to point out what J Flow says. He says, "Take it to the grave or take it to a therapist." Then J Flow says 100. Okay, I mean, look, y'all boys is making some good arguments to it, right? But guess what? And the way I look at it too, maybe Kanye West is being a sacrificial lamb, bruh. He's being a sacrificial lamb. J Flow says, "My mama didn't want no soft son, so she put me in sports." Salute, salute. Hey, here's another too. Yo, we're not here to, bang on single mothers, right? But what we're talking about is a very touchy subject, but we need to address it. For the people who, may have, gay parents or people who may be, who may facilitate the LGBT lifestyle, you have, there is a connection to the parents endorsing to this behavior. Because I'm gonna just say this, y'all, right now, okay? I'm straight in the motherfucking line. You know what I'm saying? All I want is, females and stuff like that. That's neither here nor there. With that being said, people, I forgot one time, I forgot who I was talking to. I don't know if I was talking to somebody in college, but they were saying, like, how people, have you ever had like a thought like, oh, like have you just thought about like, oh, like, man, maybe I should just go and I don't know. I'm not telling y'all to do any crimes, but have you ever said, man, you know what? If I was just to go just rob a bank and just put on a mask, I could probably just get away with that shit. Or you ever see somebody, you're like, like, I could probably just do this. I'm not saying that, I'm not endorsing crime. What I'm saying is that people sometimes have crazy thoughts, but they never, ever, ever do it. And for people to say that they never had thoughts, I'm not saying homosexual thoughts, bro. You feel me? Hey, hell up. What I'm saying is that just because people have thoughts doesn't mean you have to act on it. You feel me? You don't have to act on everything that you feel or want to do. And, some people have different reasons. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a therapist. I don't have all the answers. All I'm saying is I think Kanye West was basically trying to divulge and be honest about the fact that, a lot of black men who are LGBT in the community is probably because their mom made it that way. And when I say make, keeping them from not being in sports, keeping him in the house, keeping him away from his father. Think about it. It's pretty easy. If you're not around your father and you don't have any boy children to hang around and be boys with, right? And you're going around and let's just say your mom, who's always working, is always dropping you off to your aunt's house and they're always with the girls doing hair. It's only eventually to that dude starts becoming very feminine and into girly stuff. You are a product of your environment. That's why I truly believe. I don't believe he is trying to promote LGBT. I don't think he wants his son to go suck the ICK. I truly believe that Kanye is shedding the light. It's like he's shedding the light on certain issues that we need to discuss. His mom is the one who had these these LGBT mags, while his dad had straight ones where, women were just messing with, men and stuff, right? Like most men. I mean, shit, hey, I grew up in the 90s, bro. I had porno magazines and porno videos and shit. You know what I'm saying? But, I wasn't into no twisted shit with no dudes in it, bro. Fuck the hell nah, bro.
Emotional damage.
But you got to take in context. He was removed from his father at a very young age. Probably didn't really, other than seeing him doing the summers and stuff like that, he didn't have access to his father. And Kanye West has actually mentioned dissatisfaction with his mom about the fact that his mom moved him out, from his father to be in one of the worst ghettos in America. Kanye West has been vocal about this, but what's crazy is that, Kanye West, the reason why he has such this, the reason why he despises Boosie because he believes this. Boosie is just like he just kind of like a coon. He just kind of believes that Boosie is just basically here to kind of take away from the real discussion. The question shouldn't be why is Kanye admitting that he, did some gay shit. You know what I'm saying? The bigger question is that, what are single mothers exposing, single mothers who choose to make a conscious decision to remove the father from the home or keep the kid away from the father. And the kid ends up being curious and a bi or being gay or LGBT. We have to take in context that, it came from the mother. The mother probably had gay friends around. The mother obviously had, LGBT magazines, magazines with men in it, doing other men, bruh. I mean, and let's just be real. Getting sex from a young woman at a young age is very hard. At that time when he was doing all that that suspect shit, girls his age was messing around with dudes who were like 18, 19 in the neighborhood, bruh.
Really him. Really him. You're a victim. There we go, CSI.
But see, here's the thing, what's kind of crazy. For some reason, and I know why. See, what happens is Kanye, he became, he came into puberty. Voice started getting deeper, started getting a little taller, his armpits was getting a little funky, Believe me, hey, this might sound crazy. As funky as your armpits might be, those pheromones, women are attracted to that. You just don't want it stinking. You definitely want to take a shower. If you're really funky, use deodorant. But girls like the pheromones of sweat when you're a pubescent male. But that being said, when Kanye started finally getting some boom boom, Kanye was like, hey, I guess he was like, I ain't gay for the stay no more, bruh. J-Flow says facts. Except Pro says I think he's dropping the album soon. No telling what he might say promote it. Damn, bruh. So you think it's just all for the show, huh?
So bullshit. All of it.
Man, one thing about Kanye, man, he is definitely a revolutionary artist, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm a little mixed about the whole come out the closet kind of thing, but I kind of feel like if Kanye was just like, oh well, black women, indoctrinate their kids to be LGBT, I think they'll fucking really be trying to cancel his ass for real. You know what I mean? Shit. But if he just says, hey, because I didn't grow up with a father and I only got to see my father during the summer, and my dad showed me like, hey man, have you seen some titties and some pussy before? And his dad was like, look at this mag, and he was like, oh wow, dad, you're cool, But guess what? The first time Kanye probably seen a prom mag was when he seen the two them in his mama's magazines, bro.
It's an evil world we live in.
See? Shit crazy. J Flow says, I still remember in public school them saying it's okay that kids experiment. That was back in the 80s. What? The fuck, bro?
Nigga, please.
I mean, what? I meant to say, man, they should have locked them up back then, bro. What kind of shit is that? You know what? They never, luckily, that's funny, I went to LA Unified School District, and they never really pushed the LGBT stuff on us really per se directly. Let's just say we knew our teachers were just LGBT though.
Run! Go! Get to the chopper!
we definitely know there was some boxing behind them. Now, City Life says, get one woman and chill, coming from a man who had a lot of women. Man, bruh. Man, it's a little easier to say than done, bruh. Shit. Like, for example, I ain't gonna lie. I got a somewhat fake-ass rotation. It's not a real rotation. It's kind of a, it's kind of a friends with benefit rotations I kind of got going on. And I can honestly say that what I try to do, ideally, is that, I try not to be smashing too many other chicks, you know what I'm saying? That way, if anything fucking come up bad, I know who the fuck to blame. But, you know what I'm saying? I believe one is too close to none, G. There's a lot of heartache to being with one chick. Like I said, I'm not saying that it's impossible, but based off of statistics and just based off of my past relationships, you have one woman and then what? What's going to happen when she changes her mind? See, that's the problem. See, the problem in City Life is women are the variable. Men are the X. We're the constant. Women are the Y. And then equals Z. We don't know what the fuck might happen, G. Because women might change their mind. Yeah, here's the thing. Ideally, City Life. I can honestly say that I believe most men wouldn't mind settling down. Ideally, in a perfect world, if we could just have one woman and grow with her, just be happy, we'd be fine. As a matter of fact, men have been actually very, 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 like me, I'm a liberal person when it comes to looks. Men have been very liberal when it comes to these hoes' weight, how these hoes look, their hair or lack thereof, wigs, weaves, all types of shit. Having other men's kids, and guess what? Women still have showed, have given their asses to kiss by, with their hypergamous ways. And guess what? I'm not knocking hypergamy. I'm not knocking women want to be with who they be with. But guess what? Men, we're up here playing, checkers while they're playing chess. So, unfortunately, the whole days of having just one woman, man, them days is gone. Shit, you want one woman to yourself, you better move her to a fucking deserted island. J Flo, look, until you remove these cell phones from this woman's hand, man, she's never yours, just her turn. J Flo says, Pops married a 19-year-old, so I knew he was nasty. Shout out to your Pops and a nasty boy. He says, and then he says, oh shit, stank time. And then Maven Durai says, you don't give a fuck. He don't. Facts. J Flo says it was low-key indoctrination. Man, dude, yeah, it was low-key indoctrination. Because, like I said, man, more than likely, she probably even had all gay friends. There's probably a little bit more to it that, Kanye didn't want to allude to. But guess what? More than enough. Professor Max comes to my brother. He says now it's a circus. Fact. J Flo says, I think it was a teacher and not this curriculum. Our parents would do something back then. Facts. Oh, but guess what? That's the thing. Like, there's a show, and I don't know if y'all might tune into this channel, but I don't know. I thought about maybe implementing movie reviews on this channel, even though I'm not a movie review channel. But, like I told y'all before, I am a movie buff, and I do watch a lot of movies. And I do believe that, there's a lot of context, even in movies, even if it's fiction, there's a lot of facts in the fiction. Now, there's a show that I watched called, it was called, not The Island. It was called, how can I forget the name? Oh, Wayward Pines, y'all. Hey, if y'all ever have a chance, watch Wayward Pines. But essentially, in Wayward Pines, not to give away too much of a trailer, I'm not too much of a spoiler because I don't believe in doing spoilers, especially when it has nothing to do with this, type of show. But I'll say that one thing in Wayward Pines, one of the things that they're stressing is a known fact that people do now in real life. They don't care about what the old folks think. Yeah, the old folks are gonna kick, they're gonna go resist any change, right? Like, same-sex marriage and all that shit, right? And I see why, there's I can see, I'm not really, I don't condone that, I'm not, hey, I'm not against people doing whatever they want to do, but I'm not gonna go. At the same time, you can't expect me to condone it either. With that being said, it doesn't matter what we think. The question is that if they could get to your kids, like for example, the public school indoctrination camp, because y'all want to go and not pay for school and have your kids go to their free education or the education y'all think y'all paying for. Well, check this out. Rich people and influential people and then jewel people that y'all be talking about, the people who are rich and the people who have free thought and people who are able to do what they want to do in their communities. Guess what? When you go to a magnet school and you get bused into those nice schools, in those schools, those public schools you think that are nice, in those nice neighborhoods, guess what? Those people in those neighborhoods don't even send their kids to those schools. Why? Because they don't want their kids indoctrinated with this whole LGBT and all this communist stuff that y'all on now. When I say y'all, I ain't talking about my audience. I'm talking about people in general. Somebody comes to, I think he's said Tom. He says hi, salute. I think you might be from Philippines or something. I could be wrong, but salute. The Professor Max says it gets old. It definitely gets old, man. Professor Max said men are in love, women. Oh, men are in love, women are in business. Shout out to Coach Greg Adams. Shout out to Professor Max saying that punchline. Professor Max says, I don't trust politicians or women. Hey, I'm glad you said it, so I wouldn't have to. Now, he says, if you get a certain level, you show up different. Facts. He says, make the movie review channel happen. I might make it happen. I even thought about maybe even implementing it in this channel. You know what I'm saying? To keep it interesting too. Because I always kind of feel like there's always lessons to be learned. And I always kind of believe people put real life into even movies sometimes. Even though, the plot be fiction and maybe there's some fantasy, but there's still some reality. Art imitates life, right? So I appreciate for that. As a matter of fact, I think Mr. Goodbread is in Florida. I'm gonna try to see if I can catch up with him today. The right spirit, we gotta connect. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you get in town, whatever, we gotta connect too. He said you ain't done yet. Facts. Now, but yeah, man, but I truly believe that Kanye is shedding the light on a lot of reasons why a lot of men are becoming, alternative. I truly believe that, women, they could go. Here's the thing. A woman, I hate to say this, man, but if you talk to a lot of women, you're gonna find out that they had a lot of experiences on the other side. You feel me? You even hear, especially in the Black community, you hear sisters say that they don't deal with no lesbians, that they ain't no carpet munch or whatever, right? They don't be eating them, they don't be licking on other people's poom poom. But if you was to ask that same girl, will you let a girl eat your poom poom? She will actually think about it or even pause, because guess what? They will take it. So they definitely be pushing that stuff. Professor Max says, I believe it's parasites making people nuts. Hey, you know what? Well, I see his thing. I wish it was that simple. I wish it was just parasites. But truth is, what the parasites are? The parasites are other people. And maybe that's what you were referring to. But parasites are other people. People are parasites as well. And maybe that's what you're referring to. Maybe that went over my head. But if not, yeah. Humans are parasites as well. And Professor Max says that's disgusting. How would she feel if a dude banged other dudes? Oh, I agree. Well, guess what? But that's the thing about women, though. You can't really follow them up. Like, you can't make sense out of nonsense with them all the time. Like, not many women come from a standpoint of logic versus just emotion. For you to have the discussion with a woman and probably have a logical conversation, she'll probably have to be a scientist or a doctor, somebody who has an understanding, a woman who's at least willing to remove the emotion from the conversation. Then you got to maybe have that discussion. But guess what? Unfortunately, the truth is, everything's the opposite when it comes man and woman. Everything that we like is the opposite of what they like. They're like a broad chest. They like a broad chest. They like, they like you to have broad shoulders. They like you to have muscles on your arm, right? But we like women who don't have as much muscle on their arm, have more fat tissues, right? I.e., the breasts, the hips, their backside, their titties, right? All that good stuff that we like, right? Their lips, some things that promote us having sex with them so we can procreate and have kids. Even that's not even our true intention. Our biology is saying that in our mind, in the back of our mindset, because we are men, we are wired a certain way. But yeah, man, it is true though. Like, it is disgusting. I don't see why someone's into that. But to each his own. But we don't condone that stuff here. We don't. We ain't gonna go and try to combat it. But just keep it over there, over there. Now, to quote Chuck D, who gives a FKCU about what they like? Oh, who gives a fuck about what they like? Facts. I see what you did there. I was just, sometimes when you be trying to do a live stream and read and comprehend, it's a little hard sometimes. But yeah, man, like, it's a trip, man. It's a trip. Ishara in UK says fish sticks. But yeah, man, but like, I just want to know, like, how many dudes are coming out of straight homes, or homes where there's a strong father, or a home where they're just raised by their father, and it is turn around and they sashaying and switching and, like, want to be on some Reading Rainbow type shit. How many dudes is like that? You know what I'm saying? How many dudes is like that? Am I lying?
You ain't lying.
Like, y'all need to show me that. Oh shit, Sigma Rodan on TBAS comes through. He says, "What's up, man? Hey, salute for checking in, man. Long time no see, bro." So yeah, so let's get to the other portion of the show, because it's almost time for us to tune in to Coach Greg Adam and a Free Agent Lifestyle. It's Friday, y'all. So with that being said, and I really appreciate y'all tuning in to the show, by the way, and everybody who's tuning in on X as well, YouTube, and on Facebook. Salute to everybody. Professor Max says 80% of kids are NPCs, 20% are logical thinkers with critical thinking skills. Hey, you know what? And I would say that you're being what's that word? I feel like you're being I agree with that, but I believe that you're always being generous. I would probably go along with that. I would probably go along with more like 5%, man. It's kind of like, like for real, like 5% Muslims. Yeah, I'm not saying that it has to be on some Muslim stuff necessarily, because how we do here in the righteous sphere, but you know what I'm saying? Like, just think about it. Like, the 5% Muslims do kind of have a point when it says, like, when they kind of bring up about the fact that, only 5% are really truly aware, He said that's a statistic. That's 76 who have no internal monologue. Okay. See? Okay. No doubt. No doubt. Professor Max, you always come with some statistical facts, and I appreciate that, my G. You know what I mean? Shit, but yeah, man, I want to go to the other portion of what we had to talk about today, because this, I will be coming on tonight though, y'all. But let's see here, where is it at? It is, we had to talk about now Kendrick Lamar. Oh, not Kendrick Lamar. Kanye West basically takes shots at basically yeah, he basically takes shots at no, well, not really take shots, but he says his opinion on Kendrick Lamar and Tyler the Creator. He believes that they're very overrated. Now, there's an article that we've seen on Billboard. It says, this is Kendrick Lamar and Tyler the Creator again, the two most overrated so-called artists. West says to Kendrick and Tyler's raps are about equal. He says West says Kendrick and Tyler's raps are equally are equal honestly. Okay. So let's see a little bit more what he got says. What he got to say. Oh shit. Okay. Oh, you know what? I forgot. Before we go any further, we might have to run into overtime, and I'm still gonna catch into to the coach game. Professor Max says, I'm out of touch with celebrities. There are people who perform, right? There are people who perform. Keyword, people. You know, these people, you know, they still go through real life things, you know? So, you know, that's the reason why we talk about them. You know, because if I was to talk about how, I had a problem with something, people wouldn't watch now, right? So, we got to keep it entertaining. And let's just be real. Celebrities are entertainment. We're here entertaining, and we taking them to school. So salute to you, bro. Now, I hate to jump back into a discussion, but we have to address it. I cannot go past without addressing something before we go any further. Because I went into this whole little diatribe about what Kanye West about what he felt, right? But we got to go back. We got to rewind and go back to Lil Boosie situation. So remember when he said, he was talking about what this about Yeezy saying that he gonna make his son want to suck dick, right? Yee has responded to that, y'all. Hold up. I forgot, man. Yeezy responded to that. So look, it says, if you're wondering whether the inaugural instance of Yee and Boosie exchanging words is not just over a year ago, Boosie took issue with Yee saying he invented every style of music of the past 20 years, with Yee specifically highlighting the impact of his 2008 album 808 and Heartbreak. As Boosie puts it, Yee can't relate nothing I rap about. Boosie also argued that nobody listens to Kanye in the projects or the trenches. Oh, really?
You're a victim. There we go, CSI.
Okay. Yee was quick to respond by tweaking his statement to exclude a certain Boosie track. And he says, Yeezy says, and I quote, all right, let me stop laughing. Okay. Maybe it's funny, but it's not that funny. But he says, all right. I just saw that Wipe Me Down was made in 2007. Yee said in March 2024, I take no responsibility for what genre that would be called. He said that genre would be called. Yo. I mean, hey, Kanye is the one who, people saying that he's coming out of the closet, right? Maybe he recognized something. Because, I ain't gonna lie. No homo, but I liked Wipe Me Down because it was kind of a catchy beat. And it was kind of a cool song. But who was he telling to wipe me down, bruh? Who was he telling to wipe me down, bruh?
So bullshit. All of it.
Like, did they ever allude in the song? Because, I mean, I know some of y'all listen to him. Did he ever allude to what he meant by wipe me down? What exactly do you mean wipe me down? Wipe me down from what? Ken Davis says, what up, pimp? He says, Boosie went out like a sucker. Damn, son. Sheesh.
Holy Jesus. What is that?
I expect Boosie to come out a little tougher than that. I expect them to just kind of say some more gangster shit or something, bro.
Emotional damage.
Hey. I mean, hey, see? So I don't know. And this is before Kanye this is actually before he even came out with that. But damn. Wow. Yep. So, well, I guess I take that back. I guess if he said that in 2024, but I mean, let's go figure. I guess his response was maybe post. I guess. Oh, I guess basically what he. Oh, okay. Oh, I guess when Boosie said that he don't listen to him in the trenches or whatever, I guess that's what he was alluding to. So maybe I took it out of context. Sorry, y'all. But still, let's just be real. I'm not saying I don't fuck with Boosie, but you know what I'm saying, lyrically and probably production wise, and just who I probably follow more would probably be Yeezy. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna front, bro. You know, I ain't trying to be biased. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I still fuck with Kanye. Pause. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? We cool, but you know what I'm saying? We ain't cool like that. You feel me? Gotta watch out.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Oh shit, we gotta watch these Kanye West references now. Sheesh. Ken Davis says, I bet now Boosie gonna put his dick on the shelf. Oh shit. Oh no.
This is a sick Negro.
Yeah, this shit is fucking crazy, bro. Well, I mean, look, I feel like Kanye West was I think he's basically trying to bring up a bigger conversation, you know what I'm saying? Without saying too much, you feel me? He says a lot with a little, you dig? Now, back to the other story at hand that we're here to talk about before we shut down this show. Is this whole Boosie, not Boosie, Yeezy basically taking shots at Kendrick Lamar and Tyler the Creator, who, both those artists that actually do think that they do have good music. I'm not gonna say they don't have good music, but let's just hear what Kanye West his argument is. He said this nigga never has made a memorable song. West argued. He's like if an artist checked every box other than having any good verses of songs, and his last album ripped off my whole language. Damn, son. Whew, he going for the fucking juggler, bro. Okay. So Ye has considered changing his tune when it comes to Tyler the Creator. Back in 2015, following their Smuckers collab, West credited Tyler and our future with putting a battery in his back to continue pushing the boundaries of hip hop with projects like Yeezus. I don't think there would be a Yeezus if it wasn't for you, he said during a studio session. Find all these below. Name one good Tyler the Creator bar. Name an actual good Kendrick line. Like you really wish you had that level bar. He then says, bro, Kendrick Lamar can't not rap. Wayne got way more life bars. I got more bars. Kendrick doesn't have one bar where I say I wish I said that. Kendrick and Tyler are the most overrated so-called artists. Please order more security. Kendrick and Tyler raps are about equal honesty. And it's funny. I mean, I actually like both those artists too, but I mean, let me just put this argument out there, right? Oh shit. Ken Davis says, these rappers today are zesty, talk about wipe me down. Hey, right. You know what I'm saying? Especially the fact that Kanye came out of the closet. Maybe he's identifying something, bruh. Maybe he's identifying some shit, bruh.
Emotional damage.
Like, wipe me down. Like, think about it. Like, what's the wipe me down about? You know what I'm saying? Like, I need some more context, Boosie. What's the wipe me down for, bruh? Now, I just want to point out this one question before we head on out here. You know what I'm saying? I'm probably gonna line y'all up for about another 10 minutes, but J Flow then he adds to it. He says ninjas need to use more than booty wipes. Oh,
Emotional damage.
Shit, not the booty wipes.
This is a sick Negro.
Sheesh. Man, bruh. Shit crazy, bruh. So before we start my little round of before I empty the clip, you know what I'm saying, on this channel, I'm just gonna point this out just as a question. For anybody who says like, oh, Kendrick Lamar is dope, and I wish my brother was watching this. I don't know my brother probably busy working, but I wish he was watching this. I should have sent him this link. But I'm gonna just point this out for anybody who likes Kendrick Lamar or likes Tyler the Creator. Probably some people probably don't care about so much about Tyler the Creator, because truth be told, I would argue that Tyler the Creator's audience is probably more white people. But I fuck with Tyler the Creator myself musically, right? And Kendrick Lamar. But with that being said, is Kendrick Lamar, let's just talk about the one that we think is people think is hot, Kendrick Lamar. If Kendrick Lamar, do we think that Kendrick Lamar is dope because he's necessarily dope, or he's just better than the rest of the trash that's out here?
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Let's just be real. We do like Kendrick Lamar. I like Kendrick Lamar because I do believe he's a lyricist. I do believe he's an artist. I do believe that. But let's just be real. Would Kendrick Lamar have been popping in the 90s? Would he have really been popping in the 90s? Think about it. If Kendrick Lamar came out when Tupac was out, when, I don't know, Souls of Mischief was out, when, I don't know, Too Short, E40, Wu-Tang Clan, Biggie, Fat Joe, Outkast, who else? Fucking Ghetto Boys. When these people were coming out, do y'all think that Kendrick Lamar would have been popping? Do you think he would have been able to even come out and even really post up? Like, think about it. I almost kind of feel like the reason why people like Kendrick Lamar is because Kendrick Lamar kind of reminds you of, people that we used to like back in the day who wasn't really that big, like Raz Kaz. What's that dude's name from Oakland? He was in Men's Society. The dude who didn't want to give up his car and got shot. Kane's cousin, Saphir, Who Riders. He has that kind of feel, that old California, West Coast. Like I'm not really fully a gangbanger, but I'm affiliated. I kind of feel like Kendrick Lamar just kind of encapsulates a lot of things that we kind of liked about the 90s. And that's kind of why he's kind of hot a little bit. Let's just be real. If Kendrick Lamar was to go back in the future in the 90s, he might have not even been able to even get signed. Am I wrong, y'all? Now, J Flow says, not my West Coast flavor. He says, hell no. Oh, you don't fuck with Kendrick Lamar, J Flow? RPM says, I never liked anything I heard from Tyler the Creator. Kendrick is an artist, but I am an 80s baby. No, he wouldn't have lasted in the 90s, etc. He's okay, but not great. I'm gonna say this right now. Tyler the Creator, he's a very good producer, and like he's a good musician. But yeah, Tyler the Creator, he be saying some different ass shit. Like I could understand why you never really liked anything you heard from Tyler the Creator. But I do believe that he puts together good music. I think he's good with music. I think he does have an ear for music. He does have good music, but if you're really only into rap or into R&B, yeah, you're not really gonna be feeling Tyler the Creator. But yeah, facts. But Kendrick Lamar wouldn't have lasted in the 90s. Let's be real. I might have to make a post on Facebook about that. I truly believe that as much as I don't think Kendrick Lamar is whack. I just don't think like he's just better than the rest. Like just because you're better than the rest doesn't mean that you're better. Like for example, in 1987, I mean, I shouldn't be getting into cars, but think about it. In 1987, you know, it was cool to have, no, I'm not even gonna go there. I'm not even gonna go with that analogy. J Flo says Superfly. J Flo says, and I'm not a fan, but he has hits for today. I compare everything to the golden age. Right. Hey, what did CGA tell us? The 90s ain't coming back, bro. The 90s ain't coming back, but yo. But let's be real. I guess, you know, when he's seen better, it just, I'm not saying that he's whack, but when he's seen better, he just, you know, it's just kind of hard to kind of fall into the hype. Like, you know, it's kind of like Kendrick Lamar is cool. Do I like his album? Yes, I do actually like his album. Ask me how many tracks do I have downloaded on my phone. I probably only got those diss tracks on my phone. You know, let's just be real. We got the popular diss tracks of him on my phone, on your phone. You don't have his whole album on your phone. XL Pro says Kendrick not whack. I'll pick J. Cole ahead of him. Look, hey, like I said, I like Kendrick Lamar. Like I like him, but I think I kind of like him because he's better than everybody else. Not because he's necessarily. I don't think he's like dopest lyrically. I don't think it's like. I don't think like for example, I like what Kendrick Lamar be saying, but I don't think there's much that I don't really think there's much that is like, oh, well, damn, that quote. I don't think it's something like I'm gonna put on my fucking IG picture. Oh, I'm gonna quote Kendrick Lamar. I don't know. Like J Flo says, I played the Chronic like it came out yesterday. J Flo, you a wild boy. Salute to you, bro. Damn. Chronic 1 or Chronic 2001 or both. Cause let's just be real, bro. I would say the Chronic was a classic. Well, Chronic 2001 was definitely a classic. Might have even been better than the Chronic, but Chronic was definitely a dope ass album too, bro. The Aftermath. J Flo says both. Facts. Ken Davis says Kendrick Lamar will be able to hold his own amongst the West Coast rappers. He's connected to Snoop, so you know Dr. Dre would be producing and making his beats with Death Row and Aftermath. All right. Check this out, Ken Davis. Maybe not. The reason why I say this, Ken Davis. All right. Okay. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna say I don't agree with you. That could have happened because, you know, we're just talking about maybes, right? We're just talking hypothetically here, right? But hypothetically speaking, I kind of feel like the reason why Dre fucked with, you know, Snoop fucked with Dre, or Snoop and Dre fucked with Kendrick Lamar, is because Kendrick Lamar was a breath of fresh air. There was not many dudes like, look, Snoop and Dre Kendrick Lamar reminds Snoop and Dre of the other rappers that they knew, like Domino. Who else? Domino, Warren G. Like, think about it. Kendrick Lamar is kind of like a Warren G with better lyrics. Think about it. Warren G, Domino. Think about it. Even how he kind of flow a little bit, kind of like Domino a little bit. Ken Davis says Dre made everybody better. Hands down, he made everybody better. But for some reason, Rakim couldn't come to mind though to drop an album. You know? I guess for creative differences. Shit crazy. XL Pro says it was a lot of competition in graphic in the 90s to early 2000s. The culture different now. Facts. Now, J Flo says Shay Shiesty. Oh my God. Damn. Shay Shiesty. Oh my God. Damn, you took it back in the day. And you know what? They were trying to push Shay Shiesty. I was not fucking with no Shay Shiesty. Shay Shiesty was like diet gangster rap, bro. Shady Shiesty. Shit. Shady Shiesty, you can put him away to the side with Lil Zane. Kanye, Ken Davis says, here we go by Domino was the shit. Facts. Hey, y'all gonna have me fuck around for fucking some overtime today, bro. This shit is funny. Okay, so I got about 1 minute. I really don't. Yeah. Oh, I really don't. All right, y'all. I'm gonna give y'all 5 minutes since y'all fucking with me. All right, I'm gonna give y'all 5 minutes. There's something I gotta show y'all. I kind of have some type of clip to show y'all. You know, I like to show y'all. You know, I like to, you know, before I kick people out, I like to give them parting gifts. You know what I'm saying? You know, y'all can't just be kicking people out y'all crib. You know what I'm saying? Kicking people out your spot. You know, you gotta give them parting gifts. You know what I'm saying? I can't just tell y'all stories and just be talking all day, just be a talking head on the screen, and then not give y'all something to go talk about or something to go make a video about or something. Damn. I be finding the wrong videos. That was. Oh, yes. I thought I transferred it. Oh, maybe I didn't. Oh, that was my mistake. Oh, that's what I did wrong. Okay. If y'all don't mind, real quick, let me read. Okay. Wait, no. I should already have it. Oh, I don't. That's the problem. And I really appreciate y'all patience for real. Y'all so good to me on a Friday. For real, for real. Okay, so I do have it already. So if I have it, why can't I find it? I'm looking for my my clip. Oh, there it is. Oh, okay. There we go. I got it.
Okay, I'm reloaded.
We got comment section. He said snacks to go. You already know, G. He said, remember when Dr. Dre produced music for East Coast rappers back in the day? We talk about the firm nigga. The firm nigga. The firm. Yeah, I remember that. Nas, Foxy Brown, I think it was AZ and DRE. That was when he was kicking off his own independent label. So yo, I don't know if y'all seen this chick. She been floating around. She been going kind of viral on social media. She got these bolts. She's pretty, but she got these bolts on. Check this out. She's a very good looking woman, but them some bolt-ons for real, boy. Like, hey, I ain't gonna lie. She could definitely get it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna front. I ain't gonna say she could definitely ain't get it. But them shits is bolted on, boy. Shit. Them some bolted ass titties. Them titties is bolted on like a turbo on a car, boy. Shit. The doctor was just like, ew. But she is actually a very good looking chick though, no lie. Matter of fact, I got a better video. I got a better picture of her, actually. A better view of her. But bolted on, boy. Yo, the ninja next to her though, bruh. You already know what he is, bruh.
It's that real shit, yo.
Butterfly in the sky.
Come on.
I can go twice as high.
Let's get it on.
Yeah, get him at the fucking picture. You know what I'm saying? Sister. Yo, man, I ain't gonna lie, man. A black woman with a beautiful smile, yeah, she could definitely make you think about going back to the plantation and shit. But then you gotta like resist and be like, shit, Ken Davis says today not Friday. Today is payday. Salute. With that being said, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you're feeling this shit. And shit, matter of fact, talk about payday. Why don't you just go ahead and hit up your boy Cash App, $ Cali West 1. Salute. Ken Davis says that's how women looked in the 80s. Facts. Facts. Unfortunately, the 80s ain't coming back, but yes, that's definitely how women looked in the 80s. Slim, collarbone. You know what I'm saying? Her skin glowing, though. She got some really nice skin. And I don't know if that's her natural skin, but usually when women put on makeup, it's usually lighter than their skin complexion. But I think she's just naturally that chocolatey, dog. Shit. I'll buy that for $1. Shit. For real, for real. I ain't no cap, bro. No cap. Shit. I look like. Never mind.
She won't put that pussy on me, put it on me.
Thanks, Cali West. Peace out, y'all. Ken Davis says, I will take her to Denny's and feed her everything on the menu. Ah! Salute to y'all, boys. All right, so I gave y'all enough overtime. Once again, though, y'all, I really thank y'all for tuning in to another episode. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. If you're feeling this shit, go ahead and just turn your phone sideways, press the like button on the way out, subscribe so you can hear me talk some more shit. I appreciate y'all, boys. I appreciate y'all ladies who's tuning in as well. I will more than likely have a stream tonight, but I ain't gonna lie. I kind of have a busy night tonight, so we might not have a nice stream. If we do have a stream, it'll be late tonight. But if I don't see y'all, have a good weekend. Y'all will see me on Saturday. Once again, peace out, y'all. Enjoy y'all weekend. Peace out, y'all, boys. Gone. Oh.